out of the way. Namaste, everyone. This is a quick video. Well, I don't like the glare. This is a quick video about teaching yoga to yoga teachers and how not all yoga is the same. I was just on the phone with one of my good friends, Phaedra, in St. Augustine. Shout out Phaedra. And we're putting on a bunch of yoga events there in St. Augustine. I've been around the country, mostly the southern states, but back and forth many times, many different studios. And a common student base is actually teachers. Mostly it's teachers that come to my events, and it's mostly teachers that give me the most positive feedback. I teach yoga, and you may teach yoga, you may take yoga, but not all yoga is the same. Just like not all cars are the same. Just because I have a car and you have a car doesn't mean our cars are the same. Just because I wrestled and you wrestled definitely doesn't mean just because I play a guitar and you play a guitar is not the same. One, we're individuals, so everything is unique, right? But two, there's definitely a quality aspect to things. I'm not the kind of person, and don't look to me to be the kind of person that subscribes to it's all the same, that it's all equal, that none of it matters. It absolutely matters. There is a point to yoga. Yoga is to stop mind, and whether you take a hatha yoga approach of stair-stepping your way into bliss, or you take a bhakti approach where you just devote to some higher power until your individual ego dissolves away, or you approach it with jnana yoga and you're just reading philosophy and conjecture and debate until you arrive at some ultimate conclusion of sat, truth. Whatever your method is, Raja yoga, you're meditating yourself into higher and higher levels of awareness. I could keep going. Kriya yoga, blah, blah, blah. Techniques matter. And this is a video about what you may get by coming to a workshop with me, right? Because as a student, let's say I'm working with my father here in Texas, and father has triple spinal fusion, 3 ruptured discs, an electric implant that shocks him, and that's like at the surface of what's, you know, going on in his life. Talking about carpal tunnels on both, and you know, prostate ruptured at ranger school, and dislocated jaw a couple times. You know, I could just keep going on. But here's a guy who doesn't know anything about yoga. And who gives a shit? Yoga is a word that's describing the silence. And so it's obviously a word can't describe the silence. But we're leading our mind to a place where the silence becomes the truth, where the silence becomes the most sought after, the most valued moment. And even if it's the silence of pure listening, meaning no internal mental chatter, that I can just listen to what you're saying. That's a kind of silence too, even though there's noise. I can be listening to nature. So we want to achieve this state, and we want to do it with ease and comfort, and not like be all tight-ass about it and stressing out about it. And so you have really right-hand methods that are very orthodox. You have very left-hand methods that are very taboo, and you got to kind of keep it secret because you'll get fingers wagged at you and disapproval and whatever. And then there's in the middle, where it's like, am I left, am I right? Does that even matter? I'm progressing forward. So you come to this kind of workshop, the kind of workshops that I teach. For example, in St. Augustine, I'm teaching hand intelligence, inversions, spinal therapy with back bends, and I think a lunar acro class. I think those are, and then 2 pranayama events. That's St. Augustine. And all of that is leading towards no mind. Even the acro yoga. The acro yoga, a submission to someone else manipulating your body. You put them down and the roles change, and then you apply some Thai massage. And it's on the next level as far as what I learned from Jason Niemer, who's the founder of acro yoga. These lunar acro poses, if you want to learn lunar, or if you already have some lunar, I guarantee you've not seen these poses. I guarantee you will be able to turn around and teach these poses to someone else. And you will be able to go home and develop your practice on your own, which you could do anyway, but you know, there's tricks, there's techniques, there's mindset, there's how are we utilizing our language and our mind to progress and grow ourselves in the direction that we want. There's too many infinite possibilities. That's the problem. That's why so many people are suffering. It's okay. It's one of the reasons why many people are suffering, is that there's too much choice. Too much choice, and you get your attention units get all hooked into all of these choices, and you end up not moving anywhere. You got to unhook your attention from some of the things that just aren't important. You're gonna miss them. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna miss them, but then you're gonna get over it. You're gonna miss them only as long as it takes you to thrive in the area, which you inevitably will if you unhook all your attention units and put it in the area that you want to go. You're gonna thrive, you're gonna enjoy it, and you'll always, you know, I wish I had made it to the Olympics with wrestling. Yes, I wish I had maybe gone the professional musician route and sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's cool, right? But I found something that's more valuable to me, and as long as I keep going into that, into the value, those other things, they just fall by the wayside. You know, they're just, you wave at them as you drive past in the car. So the other events, spinal therapy, it's on the next level. Like I said, I'm working with a spinal fusion client of other spinal fusion clients and scoliosis, and these techniques are more than you just come and feel good, right? A lot of workshops that I have been to is a compendium of techniques that, yeah, I get it, there's a sequence, but why does this work? Like, how can I use this outside of the context that you're giving it to me in? I need to know the mechanics of it. I need to know, where is the psoas? How do I feel the psoas? What postures lengthen the psoas, strengthen the psoas, rotate the psoas, and what is that doing to the spine, and so on. So that would be like the backbending event. The hand intelligence event, I mean, that's on the next level. I've injured myself so many times and then had to learn, you know, the suffering opens your mind to new possibilities. As long as you can, even for a moment, arise from the suffering, which is nothing more than a gratitude practice or just being out of your body for a minute, dream state. As soon as you wake up, doing the yoga, you lay in shavasana, you get a different perspective out of your suffering. You let go of it momentarily. And in that new perspective, you can see, oh, if I had just turned left here instead of gone straight, I would have arrived at a totally different location. It takes altitude to see that. And I'm not saying altitude like go get high. I mean, sometimes I'm not like against that, but you need to be able to induce that through its breath. High is a breath. Whatever drugs you be doing, it's just a breath that's getting you to that state. You can induce that state with breathing, which will bring me to the pranayama events that are happening at Acro. This is the 3 venues, Acro, Yoga Collective, and 8 Limbs in St. Augustine. The pranayama is going to be off the hook. If you don't know, I don't even need to talk about it. I have so many videos on pranayama. You just check those out. And hand-to-hand intelligence, it's an extension of inversions, but what you will get out of it will be the communication aspect of it. The hand is a communication of the heart. And I'm not unconditional love, wishy-washy kind of mentality, but you come to that and you have that mentality, that's fine. You have that mentality. I respect if I expect you to respect my opinion, I must also give that acknowledgement to you. Want to have your belief, as long as you're not hurting me or other people around me, you believe what you want to believe. But there is inevitably this immediate connection between how we use our hands and how we use our heart and how we feel in our heart. I have so many exercises that I could clearly, scientifically demonstrate for you. Give me 100 contestants or participants, and 99 of them, I will get them to feel how the connection between their hand and their heart. Angie just commented. Angie knows what I'm talking about. You can feel the connection between the emotions that you experience in your chest cavity and how you utilize your hands in a partner practice. Once you move past that and you get that realization, that knowledge, then how do we actually use our hands, our bones, our joints to do some acrobatics, right? It's fun. We got to stay interested in our practice, or we're never going to apply our will to the point where we achieve. Achieve in yoga, achievement is the stopping of mind so the self can just shine through. The mind is filtering in both directions. You're filtering perception, but you're also filtering expression through your mood, which is part of your mind, through your emotion, which is part of your mind, through your belief system, which is part of your mind. You got to architect your mind. I know I just used that word as a verb, but you got to design your mind in a way that allows in what you want, that allows out what you want, that protects you from what you need protecting from. You know, let's say passive-aggressive communication or, you know, haters, but also that lets in the love. So many people don't know how to accept a compliment or accept love because that same architecture that's protecting them is inhibiting that flow. And that's way more than what's going to be covered in St. Augustine. If you want more on that, you join the Silent Flute, which is at ninthlimb.com. And that's a weekly lecture series plus 5 videos a week of short yoga practices. Other than that, my events are primarily for teachers, those who are in pain, or those serious practitioners like I was, who are doing their own studies. They got their books open, they're looking at anatomy, they're looking at yoga philosophy, they're looking at whatever else they're interested in, and they will have the file cabinet in their mind that the information I give you can be filed away. When it's filed away, that means you can go open the drawer and access it. For others that, like, let's say my father, I know I keep using him as an example, and he watches my YouTube videos, so Pops, I hope you're okay with me using you, but the file cabinet isn't there for yoga, right? I start talking about breathing techniques, there's no context to contrast that with. So it basically becomes the file cabinet, the knowledge I give him, and that's it. And so he doesn't have that motivation to go and turn around and teach someone else what I'm teaching him, so he doesn't need a big context. He just needs what works right now, and I give him what works. And so you come, I give you what works. If you're a teacher, you're gonna gain the context. I will tell you the context from which I apply it, and that'll give you a frame of mind that maybe you adopt my context or you contextualize it yourself, right? As long as you understand the mechanisms that are at play, you can file it away in whatever your system in your mind of how do I organize anatomy knowledge, how do I organize language, how do I organize just having fun. You know, maybe it's not in compartments, maybe it's one big blob, like you have one bedroom, like a studio apartment, you got the TV and the video game system and the bed and the kitchen, and it's all one room. Or maybe you like a mansion like me. I like mansions that have different rooms. So, did anybody else comment? Loved this video totally. Yes, Angelica Estrella. And I will see you in the next video. Namaste. Oh, and definitely subscribe and check the links below. How do I end this? End live stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, bye-bye.